Maths paper 1 higher tier, Pearson Edexcel GCSE. Let's start. They gave us some formulas. Okay. Here are the first four terms of an arithmetic sequence: 1, 4, 7, 10. Find expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. Okay, you have to first see we're going from 1 to 4, going from 4 to 7, 7 to 10. We're adding 3 every single time. That means my d is going to be 3. The arithmetic sequence formula was a1 plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, sorry, not a. You have nth term. Okay, so that would mean a1 is 1 plus n minus 1 is just n minus 1. D is 3. Okay, so 1 plus 3n minus 3. In the end, that will be 3n minus 2 as our answer. The nth term of arithmetics and the nth term of a different arithmetic sequence is 5n plus 17. Find the 12th term of the sequence. Okay, simple. Just have to replace the n with the 12. 5 into 12 plus 17. That's going to be 60 plus 17, and that will be 77 as the answer. Question number 2. 450 students were asked how they traveled to school on Monday. Each student walked or traveled by bus or traveled by car or traveled by bicycle. Okay. Each student used just one method of travel. One of these students is chosen at random. The table shows information about the probability of each method of travel. Okay. Work out how many of the 4 students traveled by car. Okay. First, you have to find out what x is. Okay. So we know that the probability is going to add up to 1. So 0.2 plus x plus 2x plus 0.26 is equal to 1. So 0.2 plus 0.26 is 0.46. And then x plus 2x, that's going to give you 3x is equal to 1. We take 3x there. 1 minus 0.46, that's going to be 0.54. That x is equal to 0.54 divided by 3. We work it on the calculator over here. See 0.54 divided by 3, and that is 0.18. Okay, so x is 0.18. They said travel by car, that's me, have to times that with 2x. So 2 into 0.18, we're going to get 0.36 as the answer. Okay. Next question number, this is a 4-mark question. Find the highest common factor of 72 and 108. Okay, so for this question, we're going to write them down in a bracket like this. 72 or 8, let's divide them. 2 times 36, 2 times 54, 2 times 18, 2 times 27, then 3 times 9, 3 times 6, and then 3 times 9. 3 times 9, then again 3 times 3, and then 3 times 2 and 3 times 3. Now that's the max we can go, so we times all of these numbers. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 3, that's going to be 4 times 3, that's 12. 12 times 3, that is 36. So our maximum highest common factor is 36. Okay, question number 4. Ava records the number of kilometers she drives each month. In April, Ava drove 943 kilometers. Okay, that's 15% more than the number of kilometers she drove in March. Work out the number. Okay, got it. So to find out the number of kilometers that she drove in March, firstly, we know that the number of kilometers that she drove is going to be 15% more. If I make a ratio, percentage to kilometers, so in April, she was at 115%. Okay, if we take the kilometers in March as 100%, that means after that's going to be 115%. Okay, that means 115% is 943 kilometers. So how much is 100% of March? Okay, so we times them. Now that's going to give you 9430. 94300 is equal to 115x. Divide 9430, 0 divided by 115, and we're going to get 820 kilometers as the answer. So the trick over here was that you had to first take the March kilometers as 100%, then add the 15 so you can get April's kilometers. Okay, that's that. Question number 5. In the diagram, ABCDE is a regular pentagon. Okay, angle AEF equals 96 degrees. Work out the size of the obtuse angle FED. So we have to find out this angle over here. Okay, now we know this is a regular pentagon. The angles that I have to add up to 360. Okay, so 360 divided by the number of sides, that is 5. That's going to give you, let's quickly do it, 72. I think you'll see quickly, 60 divided by 5. Yep, 72 degrees. Okay, that means this is 72. And we know that all of them have to add up to 360. Okay, so that means 96 plus 72 plus, let's call it x, is equal to 360. So x is going to be equal to 360 minus, you add these two, that's 168. That's going to be equal to 360 minus 168, 192 as the final answer. Expand and simplify. Okay, simple enough. We just have to multiply this m with this m, then this m with this minus 8. So that's going to be m squared. M times minus is minus 8m. Then plus 5 times 5 times m, that's going to be plus 5m. Then the plus 5 times the minus 8, that's going to be minus 40. Okay, that's going to give me m squared minus 3m minus 40 as my final answer. Okay, that's part A. For part B, solve 3n minus 4. Okay, we just have to solve for n. So we take the 3 on the other side and we multiply with these numbers. So 3 times 3n minus 4. Because the 3 was being divided on this side, if you want to take it on the other side, it's going to multiply. Okay, so we have 5n plus 6. That's going to be 9n minus 12 is equal to 5n plus 6. We take the n's on one side, so 9n minus 5n is equal to 12 plus 6. 4n is equal to 16, and n is equal to 16 divided by 4. That's going to give you just 4. Okay, and just make sure to show all your working for questions like this that are required to show all the working. Okay, next, the total universal numbers are 23, 24, 25. Okay, A is even numbers. Okay, B is 23, 29, and 31, and C is multiples of 3. Okay, got it? This is the number of the set B union C. That means all the numbers that are in B and combined with all the numbers that are in C. Okay, so in B we have 23, 29, 31. Let's just mark them over here, 29, 23, and 31. Multiples of 3. So we have 24, 27, 30, 33. That means we have 23, 24, 27, 29, 30, 31, and 33 as the answer for this. Okay, got that? Is make sure don't repeat numbers. Let's say if there a number over here, let's say 30 was also in the set of B, and we also had 30 in the set of C. We're not going to write 30 twice. We're only going to write it once, okay? Because sets are unique. Next, A, you have the complement of A. Okay, so not A, intersection C. So everything that's not in A, intersection with C. What does that mean? Well, we're firstly, what are the numbers that are not in A? If we have even numbers, that means we have to find out odd numbers. So 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, and 33 are not A. And C, we have multiples of 3. That means if I mark it with a different pen, we have C 24, 27, and 30, and 33. So what are the numbers that are both in A naught and in C? That's 27 and 33. Okay, so we're gonna write down them. 27 and 33 are gonna be our answers. 1 mark secured. Next, is it true that B intersection C is equal to nothing? Well, let's see. If let's see over here. If it was 23, 29, and 31, for C was multiple of 3, that means 24, 27, and 30, 33. Let's just check that. 27, 30, yeah. So yes, this is correct. I'm gonna write down yes, because no numbers come in both. There's no number common in B and in C. Okay, there's no same number in both of them. That's going to be our reason for this. Part C, the set D has 4 members and is such that D intersection A union C is equal to nothing. Listen, numbers of set D. Okay. First, you have to find out what are the numbers of A union C. Okay, let's write that down. For A union C, that means we have even numbers. So even numbers would be over here 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. Multiples of 3, that's going to be again 24, 27, 30, 33. So we have these numbers. Let's write them down first. So A union C is equal to 24, 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, 33, oh, and 34. Let's go a bit down. Now, they said that has 4 members and is such that if we take the intersection of these numbers with the numbers that are in D, we're going to get nothing. That means we have to find out the remaining 4 numbers that are not in this set of A union C. Okay, let's go above. Let's see what are those 4 numbers. Do we have 23 in here? Nope. So 23 is the one of them. Do we have 25? No, 25 is the second one. Do we have 27? Yeah, 26, 28, 29. Okay, 29 is the other one. And lastly, we have 31. So our D set would be 23, 25, 29, and 31. Oh, yeah. So that would be our answer. Question 7 done. Okay, for this question, we can simply just convert this into a normal number. So that's going to be 8, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Then add this. So they said 6.7 million and more. Okay. That means if you have 6, 7, 8, and 4 more zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Add them together 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 7, 8, 15, 16, 1, that is 7. So you get this. Now if you want to make it to standard form, we're going to write down a decimal point at the very end and go back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7.6 times 10 raised to the power 6. The amount of places that you go back is the amount of decimal that is going to be the number that you write down for the power of 10. That's going to be 7.6 in 10 raised power 6. Okay, done. Simplify 2p to the power 0 where p is bigger than 0. Okay, anything to them like to the power of 0 is going to be simply 1. Done. And the way that they mention this is because there's a next part B, y times y power 9 times y power minus 3 is y. Okay, simple enough. You can simply just write down this 9 minus 3 is equal to n. So that's going to be 6 is equal to n. So that's going to be equal to 6. Simplify fully. 5 a to the power 4 c squared whole power 3. Okay, so just cube that. So 5 cube is 125. A power 4 cube is going to be 4 times 3. That's going to be 12. And c squared times c is going to be c power 6. You have to multiply the powers. That's going to be your final answer. Okay, question number 11. Question number 11. The diagram shows a roof support. And we have this diagram. Okay, AM, these 2 lines. Okay, I mean, these 2 lines are basically the same. They drew these 2 lines. That means that's also 9. The roof support is made from 4 lengths of wood. 1, 2, 3, 4. AB, AC, BC, and MC. Okay, so we have AB, AC. Okay. AC is equal to BC. That's 9. Okay, they already told us that. AB is 12. So exactly at half, that's going to be 6. Okay, Lewis is going to buy a length of wood to make the roof support. Okay, the wood costs 21.5 euros per meter. Okay, and each length of wood he buys has to be a whole number of meters. Okay, got it? And work out whole number of cost of the wood Lewis needs to buy. Show your working clearly. Okay, this is going to be a 5 mark, 4 mark. Okay, let's see. First of all, you have to find out the total lengths. Okay, so if this is 12, that is 9, that is also 9, we can use our Pythagoras formula and say, okay, if we have this as 9, that means half is going to be 6. Okay, and that means over here we're gonna have a right angle triangle. That's the hypotenuse, that is our base, and that's going to be perpendicular. So 9 squared is equal to 6 squared plus p squared. So that's 81 equals 36 plus p squared. P squared is going to be equal to 81 minus 36, that's going to be equal to 45. Take the square root. Okay, and we'll get something 6.8, I think. Let's just see. 45, 6.7 exactly. Okay, 6.7, and that's going to be meters. Now we have all the lengths. That means this final length is going to be 6.7, and they said that the wood costs 21.5 euros per meter. Okay, each length of wood he buys has to be a whole number. So that means we have to first find out the. So this one's going to be 9 times 21.5, and times that by 2 because we have 2 of these. Okay, so that's going to be 9 times 21.5 times 2, 387. Okay, that's 387 euros. And for 6.7, again, they mentioned we can't have a decimal number. They said we have to have a whole number of meters. That means we have to find this as, that means we're going to have to take this as 7. So 7 times 21.5, okay, 150.5 euros. And finally we have the 12 over here. Yeah, so 12 times the 21.5, let's see, 258. Okay, now add them all up. 258 plus 150.5 plus 387, that's going to give you 795.5 euros as your cost. Question number 12, factorize fully 6y squared minus 5y minus 4. Okay, this is a middle term breaking question. We're going to first multiply the first and last term. So that's 6 times minus 4, remember, that's going to be minus 24. Now you have to break the middle term into two numbers that when they're added, they give you the minus 20. When they're added, they give you minus 5 back. When they're multiplied, they give you minus 24. There's only one combination. That is going to be minus 8y plus 3y minus 4. Okay, now you can rearrange this. So 6y squared plus 3y minus 8y minus 4. Now take the 3y common here. That's going to be 2y plus 1. Take the minus 4 common here. That's going to be 2y plus 1. You have these two brackets the same. That means you did your middle term breaking correctly. So 2y plus 1 and 3y minus 4. That's going to be your final answer. So write down this bracket as one bracket and the remaining numbers 3y minus 4 as another bracket to factorize it fully. Okay, that's going to be that. Part B, express 2x plus 1 divided by 4x plus 7 minus 5x divided by 3x as a single fraction in its simplest form. This is a 3-mark question. Okay, let's do this. First, you have to have the same denominator to add them. So that means you're going to multiply this fraction with 3x and this fraction with 4x. Okay, so 3x times 2x, that's going to be 6x squared plus 1, that's 3x, divided by 12x squared, and then minus, you have 4x times 7, that's 28x minus 20x squared divided by 12x squared. I'll write them together as a single fraction, 12x squared. So 6x squared plus 3x minus 28x, plus, not minus. So plus 28x minus 20x squared. Simplified further, 6x squared minus that, that's going to be minus 14x squared plus 31x divided by 12x squared. And you can take the x common from them because they all have x. So we're going to remove the x from the above. So that's going to leave you with minus 14x plus 31 divided by 12x as your final answer. Question number 13. Harman has 2 bags of beads. In bag A, there are 3 white beads, okay? 3 white beads and 7 black beads, okay? In bag B, there are 5 white beads and 4 black beads, okay? He turns in random from bag A and a bag from B. Okay, got it? So first we have written the probability for white in the first bag. So that's going to be 3 divided by 11. 3 divided by the total number of beads that there are, that's 11. Sorry, 10. 10. Then for black, it's going to be 7 divided by 10. Okay. For the second bag, for white, it's going to be 5 divided by 4. That's 9. Okay. Then for black, it's going to be 4 divided by 9. Same thing here, 5 divided by 9 and 4 divided by 9. Because it does not matter like what's happened in the first bag, you're still going to have the same exact result in the second bag. It does not affect these. They do not affect each other. Okay, work out the probability that Herman takes 2 beads of the same color. That means white, white plus black, black. For white, white, that's going to be, we just wrote down, this was, second, this was over here 3 divided by 10, and this was 5 divided by 9. So you times that. That means 3 by 10 times 5 by 9. That's for the whites. And then for the black beads, you're going to have, for the first black, let me erase this. It's going to be 7 divided by 10. So 7 divided by 10 times the second one is 4 divided by 9. Okay, times 4 divided by 9. So multiply them. That's 15 by 90 plus 28 by 90. Add the numerators. That's going to be 43 divided by 90. And yeah, that is your simplest answer. Okay, question 14 says the combined savings of Abel and Bahra are 15,435 dinars. The savings of Bahra are 45% more than the savings of Abel. Okay, if the savings of Bahra are 3 by 2 times the savings of Chanda, work the savings of Chanda. Okay, got it. Firstly, let's say the savings of Abel are x. That means the savings of Bahra are 1.45x. So x of Abel plus 1.45x of Bahra is equal to 15435 dinars in total. So you have to first find x. That's going to be 2.45x is 15,435. X is equal to 15,435 divided by 2.45. So if we do that quickly here, 15435 divided by 2.45, that is 6,300. That is x. Now that's the value of x. We have to find out first the savings of Bahra that are 45% more. That means 1.45 times the x. So 1.45 times 6,300 times 1.45, 9135. Now we have to times that by 3 by 2, so we can get the savings of Chanda. So times 3 by 2, 13702.5 is going to be our answer for this question. Question 15, the function is defined as fx equals 3x plus 1, x by 2, x minus 2. State the value of x, okay, that cannot be included in any domain of the function f. Okay, that's 2. We can't have 2, because if we have 2, that means we're going to have 2 minus 2, that's 0, and we're going to have a undefined function or infinity function, okay, because 2 minus 2 is going to give us 0, and we can't divide by 0 because that's going to give us an error. So that's going to be 2. Express the inverse function f inverse in the form f inverse of x. Okay, firstly, we're going to first write down fx as y. So y is equal to 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 2. We make x the subject in this case. That means I'll take the x minus 2 there. So y x minus 2 is equal to 3x plus 1. Okay, now I multiply it, so we get xy minus 2y is equal to 3x plus 1. Now take the x's on one side, so 3x goes there. Xy minus 3x is equal to 2y plus 1. I take the x common, so y minus 3 is equal to 2y plus 1. X is equal to 2y plus 1 divided by y minus 3. So we got x equals something. Next step is to write down this. If fx was y, we wrote fx as y. If I want to take the f on the other side, what's going to do? It's going to become f inverse. Okay, it's going to be equal to x equals f inverse of y. Okay, that means I can write x as f inverse of y is equal to 2y plus 1 y minus 3. And lastly, if f inverse of y is 2y plus 1 divided by y minus 3, if I write down f inverse of x, that's going to replace the values of y with x. So 2x plus 1 divided by x minus 3 would be our answer in this case. Done. Question number 16. There are 20 sweets in a box. 15 of the sweets are red, okay? 5 of the sweets are yellow. Fred takes at random 3 sweets from the box. Probability that at least takes 1 sweet of each color from the box. Okay. Firstly, we have to write down, we have to make a probability diagram. And this is going to be a 4 mark, 5 mark? 4 mark, okay. Let's see. Firstly, he takes 3 sweets. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's going to be much easier to actually make this. So firstly, if he takes the sweets at the first time, we're going to have 15. If you write it down, right, red and yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Firstly, what's the probability? For red is going to be 15 divided by 20. Okay, so 15 by 20 instead of 5 by 20. For this, now for the second time, if we take red for the first time, that's going to be 14 by 19 because we ate one red. And last time it's going to be 13 by 18. Okay, if we take one red, that's going to make the yellow into a 5 divided by 19. Okay, and the red into a 15. Okay, let's see question 16. There are 20 sweets in a box. 15 of the sweets are red. 5 of the sweets are yellow. Fred takes at random 3 sweets from the box. Work out the probability that Fred takes at least 1 sweet of each color from the box. Okay, so firstly you have to make a tree diagram to actually visualize this a bit better. So firstly, he takes it 3 times. So if I make it on this side, 1, 2, 3, and that's okay, 1, 2, and okay, we'll try to make it as clean as we can. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Okay, firstly, for the first time, he's gonna have 15. Let me also write this down. For the first take, for the second take, and for the third take. Okay, so firstly, he's gonna have the probability for red is 15 by 20. For yellow, it's gonna be 5 by 20. If he takes one red, that's gonna be 14 by 19 because he took one red and it also reduced one from the total. And if you take one more red, that's gonna be 13 divided by 18. If you took 2 reds and then 1 yellow, that's gonna be 5 divided by 18. Okay, and then we have if he takes the red, then he takes a yellow, then we're gonna have 5 divided by 19. Then if he takes a red again, that's gonna be 14 divided by 18, and over here that's going to be 4 divided by 18. Okay, and if he takes a red, after taking yellow, he takes a red, that's going to make it again 15 divided by 19, and 4 divided by 19 here, 3 divided by 18 here, and 15 divided by 18 here, If you take a red, then that's going to leave me with 14 divided by 18. Let me just check that. 15, 40, yeah, 14. It's going to be 4 by 18. Now we have to find out, after making this, again, this takes some time, but after making this, we have to find out, okay, in which combination do I have at least one of both? At least one of both, not exactly one of both, or yeah, there's no cap. So if I have to have one of each. So that means we have red, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, red, yellow, 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 red, red, yellow, red, yellow, 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 red. And I think that's it. Let me just see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. Red, red, red. That's not gonna, we're not gonna take that because we only have red in that case. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, red, yellow, yellow. Took that. So why? Okay. Yellow, red, red. Yeah. Yellow, red, yellow, 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 red. Okay. Now you have to just add the probabilities. So firstly, red, red, yellow. That's gonna be 15 by 20 times 14 by 19 times 18 by 13. So this is 13. So 15. I'm going to do this on the calculator so we don't spend too much time over here. We're going to multiply these. So if we have red, red, yellow, we're going to multiply 15 times 15 by 20, 14 by 19, and 13 by 18. Okay, done. Now we're going to add that with this. So red, yellow, red. That is 15 by 20 times 15 by 19 times 14 by 18. Do the same thing for all of these. Add them all together and we're going to get. We can see that these are all the ones that we have a combination that we can now we know that these are all the combinations that have one red and one yellow each, at least. Okay. Now instead of multiplying all these, like finding out, okay, what's red, red, yellow, then red, yellow, red, that's going to take a lot of time. We can simply take those ones that are not in this category. There are only two: red, 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 and yellow, yellow, yellow. We can take them and subtract them from 1 because total probability is always going to be 1. Okay. That means 1 minus, we have red, red, red. That's going to be 15 divided by 20 times 14 divided by 19 times 13 divided by 18. That's 1. Plus, for yellow, 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 that's going to be 5 by 20. Let me write actually below this. Plus, you have 5 by 20 plus 4 by 19 plus 13 by 3 by 18. Let me fix that. 3 by 18. Okay, now do this on the calculator. Let's do it quickly. 1 minus, we have 15 by 18, 15 by 20 times 14 by 19 times 13 by 18, and then add that with 5 by 20 times 4 by 19 and add that with 3 by, so I multiply that, but sorry, not multiply that with 3 by 18. Okay, let's see what the answer is. And we get 45 by 76 as our final answer. Okay, question 17. Show that 1 plus under root 5 divided by 3 minus under root 5 can be written in the form a plus b under root b, where a and b are integers. Show each set of working closure. Okay, so we have 3 mark. Okay. We're going to have to multiply. Let me write it down. Let me actually change the pen. 1 plus under root 5, 3 minus under root 5. You have to multiply both of these by the reverse of this fraction. So that's going to be 3 plus under root 5 and 3 plus under root 5. Okay, times that. What do we get in the what do we get over here? We get 3 squared. We'll write that completely. 1 second. 3 times 3, that's 3 squared. 3 times plus under root 5, and then minus 5, minus under root 5 times 3, that's going to cancel out. Then minus under root 5 times plus under root 5, that's going to give me minus square, minus, we're going to get under root 25, that's going to give you minus 5, okay? And then in above, you're going to have 1 plus under root 5 times that with 3 plus under root 5, okay? Now simplify that. So 1, that's 3, then 1, that's under root 5, plus under root 5, plus that's going to give you plus 5. Under root 5 times, sorry, before that, we're going to have 3 under root 5, and then you're going to have 5, and divide that all with 9 minus 5, that's going to be 4, okay? Simplify that. So 3 plus 5, that is going to be 8. So you have 8 plus, this is going to be 1 under root 5 plus 3 under root 5. That's going to give you 4 under root 5 divided by 4. You have 4 common. Take 4 common above. So 4, 2 plus under root 5. Divide that with 4. Take the 4 out. We're left with 2 plus under root 5. And that is your answer. Question number 18. A curve C has the equation y equals x cubed minus 40x plus 1. Find the coordinates of both the points on C at which the gradient is 8. Okay, firstly, if the gradient is 8, we're going to firstly take the derivative. So that means if I do dy by dx. Okay, question 18. A curve C has equation y equals x cubed minus 40x plus 1. Okay. Find the coordinates of both the points on C at which the gradient is 8. So firstly, we're going to take the derivative of this equation, the curve. So dy by dx is equal to 3x squared minus 40 plus 0, because the 1 just gives us a 0. Now the gradient is 8. So 8 is equal to 3x squared minus 40. 40 goes there, 48 equals 3x squared. Divide the 3, so you get 16. 48 divided by 3, that's 16. X equals x squared. Take the square root. We're going to have two values. X equals 4. X equals minus 4. Now we put them back in the equation one by one and see what are the values of y that we get. So y is equal to 4 cubed minus 40 into 4 plus 1. And over here, y is equal to minus 4 cubed minus 40 into minus 4 plus 1. Let's see what the values that we get. Where's the calculator? So 4 cubed minus 160 plus 1, that's minus 95. And for the other equation, we have minus 4 cubed, and that's going to be plus 160 plus 1, that's going to be 97. So our coordinates are 4 comma minus 95 and minus 4 comma 97. Okay? We have to use differentiation for this question. Done. Question number 19. Okay, question 19. Here's a quadrilateral ABCD. We've been given this diagram. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Okay. Now, some students may make the mistake of thinking, okay, I have a right angle triangle here, so I can simply use trig ratios, SOHCAHTOA, and I can just simply solve it. No. They said the diagram is not accurately drawn, so that means you can't assume that this is 90 degrees. You have to find that. And they won't give you a simple question where they just give you 5 marks, okay? Now, for this question, you have to first see, I can't use my Pythagoras theorem or I can't use my trig ratios here because it's only for right angle triangles. For this question, you're going to firstly find out this side, the one in the middle. You're going to first find out this side, then you're going to use cosine rule to find out this angle. So let's do that. Firstly, if you use sine rule to find out this side, that's going to be sine 40 divided by 12.8 is equal to sine of 62 divided by, let's call that side y, cross multiply. So sine 62 times that by 12.8, 13, 11.3, 11.3 is equal to sine 40 times y. So sine 40 is 0.6427. 0.6427 times y. Y would be equal to 11.3 divided by 0.6427. And that would be 11.3 divided by answer. 17.579. 17.579. Okay, got that. We got y. Now, let me just write that over here. 17.579. We're going to use our cosine rule where it says the side that the angle is facing squared. So 17.579 squared is equal to the side that are touching the angle squared. So 15.2 squared plus 13.4 squared minus 2 into the two sides, so 13.4 into 15.2, and subtract, right over here, cos of the angle. That's x. Okay, let's simplify this. So answer squared, 309.4, 309.04, 15.2 squared plus 13.4 squared minus 2 into 13.4 into 15.2. We get 3.24 minus, oh wait, now we can't subtract that yet because we're multiplying the minus 2 with the causable, so we can't just subtract this and then write down the cause in the end. And by the way, this is, yeah, I made a mistake here. This is actually multiplying. Multiplying, yeah, thanks. Okay, now first we're going to have to add the squares. 15.2 squared plus 13.4 squared, that's going to be 410.6 minus, now let's write it down, so minus 2 into 13.4 into 15.2, that's going to be minus 407.36 into cos of x. Let's take that over there. So 309 on the other side minus 410.06 minus 101.6. Now take the minus 407.36 on the other side. Okay, so minus 407.36 is equal to cos of x. Now take the cos there. So cos inverse of 101.6 divided by 407.36, because the minus cancels out, is equal to x. Okay, let's find that out. So cos inverse of 101.6 divided by 407.36 is equal to 75.557. But they said you have to give the answer to 3 SF. So 1, 2, 3. Check the next one. That's 5 or bigger. So you have to increase it and write down 75.6 degrees as a final answer. Okay. Okay. Question 20 says the diagram shows a sector OABC of a circle center O. Angle AOC is 60. Okay. The area of the shaded segment ABC is 38. Okay, that means this is 38 centimeters squared. Work out the perimeter of the shaded segment ABC. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. Okay. Firstly, we have to find out what does this shaded area represent. That's going to be the area of this entire sector subtracted from the area of this triangle. Okay, so let's do that. Firstly, I'll write down shaded area. Got it. So area of sector minus area of triangle. Okay, so that's going to be 60 divided by 360 times 2 pi r squared. So times pi r squared minus, you're going to have half into AB sine, so AB, that's a radius, so r squared into sine of 60 is equal to 38. Simplify that, you get pi r squared divided by 6 minus, you're going to get, if you do that quickly here, sine 60. Sine 60, that's under root 3 by 2. That means if you times that, we're going to get under root r squared under root 3 by 4. Yep. Okay. That's equal to 38. We can take the r squared common. So r squared becomes, let's write that here. 38 is equal to r squared. Take common. Left with pi by 6 minus under root 3 by 4. Okay, let's first calculate this. So pi by 6 and minus under root 3 by 4. You get 0.09. Okay, so 38. And then we divide that, so we take that there. So 0.09 is equal to r squared. Take the square root on both sides. You're going to get r. So 38 divided by answer. Okay, square root 20.481. That's my radius. And that's not the answer yet. They asked us for the perimeter of the shaded segment. Okay, so we know that this side over here is going to be 20.481, this side. Now we also have to find out the arc length. To find out the arc length, so if we can find out the actual perimeter. Okay, let's do that. So for the arc length, we're going to get theta over 360, so that's 60 over 360 times pi, so not pi, 2 pi r. 2 pi r. So 2 into pi into 20.481. Let's calculate that. So 60 divided by 360 times 2 into pi into answer. And we get 21.448. Now add that with your actual this length. That's going to be the radius, 20.481. 20.481. 20.41, and we get 41.929, or we can write down 41.93 as our final answer. But also said correct to one decimal place. That means if I have 929, we're just going to write down 9 at the end. So 41.9 would be our answer. Okay, that's for this question. Okay, question 21. A curve has the equation y equals fx. There is one minimum point on this curve. The coordinates of this minimum point are 5, -4. Okay. Write down the coordinates of the minimum point on the curve with equation y equals fx plus 7. Okay. Now this is going to be a horizontal translation to the left side. That means in the equation, I'm going to have to subtract 7, not add it. That's what the horizontal translation will do. So we're going to have 5 minus 7. That's going to be minus 2. So we're going to get minus 2, and the remaining coordinate, that is minus 4. Okay, and for second, y equals fx minus 6. So that's going to be vertical translation downwards. So we're going to have to subtract that. So if you have minus 4 minus 6, that's going to give you minus 10. And we're going to have 5 minus 10. Okay. Okay. For question 22, the incomplete histogram shows some information about the distances in kilometers that 100 adults ran last week. Okay. All of the adults ran at least 5 kilometers. None of the adults ran more than 55 kilometers. Okay. 14 adults ran between 15 and 20. That means this block over here, 15 to 20. Okay. First of all, they did not give us a frequency distance histogram. They gave us a frequency density histogram. So we have to first find out the frequency over here. Now, we can use this block, this one, find out its area, okay? And that's going to give us a frequency for this, because the area for a frequency density histogram gives us the frequency, okay? So this is 5, and that is 10, 20, 25, 28. So you have 28 squares and 5 squares there. That's going to be 140. Okay. Now, 140 of these squares represents 14 adults. Okay. That means 140 divided by 14. That means 10 small squares per adult. So 10 small squares represent 1 adult. Now, let's find out what are the total number of squares that we have. Well, that's going to be 1,000, because total squares are going to be the number of people, 100, times small squares per adult, that's going to be 10. So we have 100, we have 1000. We first find out how many people are left. So over here, we had 14. If we find out the area for this, so that's going to be 5, 10, 15. 15 times, if we do that, 10, 20, 30, 34, okay. And for this one, we have 4 times, this is going to be 5, 5, 10, 15, 15, 20, okay, 20. So that is 80 small squares over there. And over here, 15 times 34, we have 510. Let's write that down. 510 small squares. And 1 second, for this one we had 140, right? Yeah, 140. Okay, let's just check that. So 80, that is 4, that is 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, now let's add them all together. So 510 plus 140 plus 80. Okay, answer plus 80 plus 140. That is going to be 730. 730. Now, so when we divide this, so after dividing this is our height, okay? So that means if we're going from 5 to 15, our height is going to be 27 small squares. That means 10, 20, 25, 27 over here. And we're going to make that till 15. Oh, I'm going to make that till 15 like that, and that's going to be our answer. This one did require a lot of working, but still we got the answer. Okay, question 23. A solid shape is made by removing a hemisphere. So remove this hemisphere shown shaded from a cone as shown in the diagram. Okay, the radius of the hemisphere is 2x. Okay, the radius of the base of the cone is 5x. The radius from here to here, that's 2x. The radius of the base of the cone, that's going to be 5x. The vertical height of the cone is 6x. Okay, that's 6x. The volume of the solid shape is 6948 pi centimeter cube. Okay, the volume that we get after we remove this hemisphere. And work out the total surface area of the solid hemisphere that has been removed from the cone. Okay. First, you have to find out what's the volume of this, of the solid that we get. So that's going to be volume of solid. We actually write it down over here. Volume of solid is going to be the volume of the cone minus the volume of the hemisphere. Okay, so the volume of a cone is going to be half pi r square h minus the volume of a sphere, that's going to be half into 4 by 3 into pi r cubed. Yeah, okay, let's write down the formula now. So half, say 1 by 3 into pi into the radius for the cone was 5x, so that's going to make it 25x squared, and times the height, that's going to be 6x. Okay, subtract that from half, it's going to be 4 by 6. 4 by 6 into pi into r cubed, so that's going to be 2x cubed. That's going to be 8x cubed. So if we times that by 8x cubed, okay, simplify this, so that's going to be 150x cubed. And that's going to make, if we divide by 3, it's going to make it 50x cubed pi minus, that's going to be 32x cubed. Okay, so 32x cubed times pi divided by 6, and that is equal to 6948 pi. Okay, got it. Next, now you can simply find out x. So if you first have these denominators the same, times by 6 times by 6, that's going to make that 300. So 6948 pi is equal to 300 x cubed pi minus 32 x cubed pi divided by 6. We take the 6 over there. So 6948 times 6, that is 41688 is equal to 268 x cubed pi. Take that over there, so divide by 268 and also divide by pi. Or not divide by pi, because we have to also, over here we just cancel pi because we have pi here and here. So we're just going to cancel pi. Okay. And after that's done, let me just see. Times 5 times 6. Okay. We get this. And then we take the cube root. The answer was 155.55 is equal to x cubed. Take the cube root on both sides. And you're going to get the answer as 5.37. This is the answer for x, not the answer for our question yet. They ask us for the total surface area of the solid hemisphere. Now the formula for that is 3 pi r squared, 2 pi r squared plus pi r squared. Now that means we have 3 into pi into r squared. Now the radius for the hemisphere, the solid, is going to be the same as the hemisphere, so it's going to be 2x. So that's going to be 2 into x, that is 5.37 squared. Okay, and yeah, let's find that out. So answer times 2 whole squared. Let's see that. Got that. And then times with 3 pi. The end answer becomes 1090.39. And they said that you have to give the answer to the nearest integer. So that's going to be simply 1090. That's going to be our final answer. Let's see. Question number 24, second last question. A polygon has n sides where n is greater than 5. The interior angles of the polygon from an arithmetic sequence, okay. The smallest angle of the polygon is 84. The common difference of the sequence is 4. Work out the sum of the interior angles of the polygon. Okay, firstly, for this question, you have to make two equations. First is going to be interior angles of a polygon has this formula, n by n minus 2 times 180. And for the sum of an arithmetic sequence, it's going to be n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, now you have to equate these two. Okay, so that's going to be, if we do it over here, n minus 2 times 180 is equal to n by 2, 2 into a. A is 84. That's going to make this 1. Let's quickly do it. 2 into a. So that's going to be 168 plus n minus 1 into d, that is 4. Let's multiply. So if we do that, that's going to be 180n minus 360. And if you take the 2 over there, it's going to multiply again with those two. So that's going to be 360 and 720. 360n minus 720. We remove the n, remove the 2, n, and then 168 plus 4n minus 4. So 360n minus 720 is equal to 168n plus 4n squared minus 4n. Take everything on one side, so that's 4n squared. You have the plus 168n minus 4n and then minus 360n, and you have plus 720. Simplify that, 4n squared, and if you do it quickly over here, 168 minus 4 minus 360, that's minus 196n plus 720. We can divide all of this by 4 to make it a bit easier. So divide that by 4. We're going to be left with n squared and divide by 4. 49, so minus 49n plus 720 divided by 4, 180. So you have that. Now, next step is that you have to solve this and find the two values of n. Okay, so we're going to use middle term breaking in this case. So if we break 49, we can take 45 and 4. Yeah, 45 times 4 gives us 180. Yeah, so you can break that down. So n squared minus 45n minus 4n plus 180. Okay, got it. n minus 45 minus 4 n minus 45. We're left with n minus 45 and n minus 4. That means we have two values, n equals 4, n equals 45. Now they explicitly said that n is bigger than 5. That means we cannot take this value, we're going to have to take n equals 45. Now find the sum. Sn is equal to n minus 2 times 180. That means 45 minus 2. Oh, sorry about the 5 times 180. Okay, that's 43 times 180. Let's see what that gives us. 7740. And that is our answer. Okay, question 25. 17 minus 3x squared plus 12x. Write fx in the term a minus b, x minus c whole squared, where a, b, and c are. Okay, we have to write it in the completed square form. So first, let's take the 17 outside. 17 goes outside, we're left with 1 minus 3 by 17 x squared and plus. Okay, so we have 17, we're going to take that outside. So 17, and we have 1 minus 3 x squared by 17 plus. Okay, so we're going to first rearrange this. So we're going to have 3 minus 3x squared plus 12x plus 17. Okay. Now, before we start middle term completed squares, we have to first take the first number common from all of the equations. So we take minus 3 outside. Okay, we're left with x squared plus 4 x, yeah, plus 17 divided by 3. Next step is that we have to take the half of this, that's 4, and then add its half squared and subtract its half squared. So x squared plus 4x minus 2 squared, or plus 2 squared, and minus 2 squared plus 17 by 3. Then minus 3, we can write this part as a plus b whole squared, right? So we have a plus b, that's going to be x plus 2 whole squared. Okay, and then we have minus 2 squared plus 17 by 3. Let's do that quickly. So minus 4 plus 17 divided by 3, that's going to be 5 by 3. So plus 5 by 3. Let me just recheck, take minus. Yeah, minus. Now simply multiply them. So minus 3 times that, minus 3 into x plus 2 whole squared, plus minus 3 times that, that's going to give you with minus 5. Yep, minus 5. You can rearrange it. So write minus 5 in the front, minus 5 minus 3 x plus 2 whole squared, and that becomes our form a minus b x minus c whole squared, and abc in this case is going to be a is minus 5, b is 3, and c is minus 2. These are our three values, and that is our paper done.